Hello, my unraveled friends. I'm getting sicker and sicker as the day goes on, but we have to continue because number one, we have videos to upload, and number two, we have work tomorrow. And my job is literally to take care of other human beings, and so we need to manifest healing overnight. I need all of you. We could do this. Close your eyes and manifest complete and ultimate healing and revival for Tiff so that she can do her job as a nurse tomorrow and heal human beings who need her care and compassion. But also, as I stated in the first part, we have to talk about things, right? We have to talk about things. A couple days ago, I uploaded my deep dive. Nikki Cheng Saelee McCain, beautiful, vibrant, wonderful human being, mother of four, whose life was tragically taken. And who loves documents? I love documents. This is FOIA request 2 of like 30 that has finally been responded to. Not 2 of 30 in this case, 2 of like 30 of cases that I'm following, but it was responded to. We have documents. I, after receiving these documents, looked them up online. I think a lot of people have them, and so I don't feel as special now. However, I have them, and that means we're going to read them. And let's go through these. Again, this case is ongoing, this case is unfolding, and this case is important. It matters, as they all do. And so let's talk about them. The first document, I think, was a report that was taken on the night that Nikki McCain finally went to the hospital after that very volatile interaction with her husband, Tyler McCain, where she said that she was bound and just a victim of this relentless beating for over 3 hours. I think that is the first report that we're going to read. And then the one after that they sent me was the press release, which is already all over the place. So I didn't really need a FOIA for that one. But I got it, and it makes me happy because I'm learning how to do these things, and I'm getting responses, few and far between, but I'm getting them. And so that's cool, right? Anyway, let's unravel this. So here is the document that I was sent. And of course I started looking for it in other places just to see. And I guess I'm not that special. A lot of people had this, but it doesn't matter. We got it, and so we're gonna read it. And Shasta County Sheriff's Office, incident number blah, 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 reporting officer Jerry M. Mall, report time December 1st, 2023, 7:10 p.m. I'm going to zoom in on this because I'm blind as hell. There's no way I can read that. So that's what we're doing. Okay, here we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah? All right. On Friday, December 1st, 2023 at 23:12 hours, I responded to Mercy Hospital in Redding, California, to make contact with a female who shall be referred to in this report as confidential victim, who we now, of course, know is Nikki McCain. The purpose of the contact was for a reported domestic violence incident involving herself and her husband of 13 years, Tyler McCain, that occurred on November 29th, 2023, between the hours of 20:30 and 20:30 hours at their listed address of blank Olinda Road in Anderson, California. It should be noted that the original call of the report came in around 19:10 hours on the date of 12/1/2023. Upon coming on duty later that evening, I attempted phone contact with confidential victim, but was told by her friend that she was currently being treated in the ER and not able to speak with me. In making contact with confidential victim at the hospital, I immediately noticed facial trauma to both her eyes as well as her forehead and facial areas. Both of her eyes were blackened severely. Both were also swollen and would appear to be the result of a physical assault. I asked confidential victim who did this to her. She stated it was her husband, Tyler McCain. Using my department-issued iPhone, I recorded a conversation and asked confidential victim to explain to me what occurred. She relayed the following in summary. Confidential victim stated, on Wednesday, November 29th, 2023, she returned home to her address of Blank Belinda Road, a residence she shares with her husband, Tyler McCain. She said they had been together and married for approximately 16 years and have 4 children in common, none of who live with them currently. Getting back to the night of the incident, confidential victim stated when she got home around 2015 to 2030 hours, Tyler was not home. Confidential victim went into her bedroom and started combing her hair when approximately 15 minutes later, Tyler returned home in a strange mood and for some reason went and locked the back door of the house. Confidential victim stated that for unknown reasons, Tyler seemed extremely agitated and was not making any sense. When he contacted her in the bedroom area, she said he immediately jumped on her, held her down on the ground and dragged her around, yelled at her and asked her, "What's going on? What are you doing?" Confidential victim stated that Tyler had a glazed, scary look in his eyes, as if he was having some sort of mental episode. Confidential victim tried to calm Tyler down, but to no avail, and he continued to torment her verbally as well as hold her down and began to repeatedly hit her in the face. Confidential victim stated that Tyler's behavior began to grow more and more intense towards her, hitting in the facial area with his open hands in a harsh, forceful manner. She said, in addition to hitting her in her face, her eyes, and her cheek area, so her entire face, he also pulled her hair numerous times and even poured large amounts of water onto her from a water jug that was sitting beside her, causing her to become very cold. Confidential victims stated this behavior by Tyler continued for approximately 3 hours, during which time he bound her ankles and wrists together with white tape. He also placed a piece of tape over her mouth so she could not speak properly. Confidential victims stated part of the tape was not covering her mouth fully, so she was able to breathe, though she could not speak. During this time, confidential victims stated Tyler turned her over onto her stomach and straddled her from behind, pulled on her hair, and forcefully pulled her head back, stating he was going to kill her. I asked confidential victim what state of mind she was in at this moment. Confidential victim said she thought that she was going to die, that Tyler may actually intend to kill her. Throughout the evening, Tyler periodically hit her as she laid on the ground. Confidential victim said one time Tyler attempted to wrap something around her neck but was not successful in doing that. I asked confidential victim what type of object Tyler used to wrap around her neck. She said she was not sure. She did not see, only that she felt it. In looking at confidential victim's neck, I did not notice any specific strangle or choke marks that could be attributed to an attempted strangling. In looking at the eyes of confidential victim, it was clearly evident she had been struck numerous times with injuries suggesting they came at the hands of being struck by another human being. It should also be noted confidential victim is a small person at 4 foot 11 inches and 90 pounds in stature. Tyler is substantially larger and stronger than she is, and there would be no way for her to fend him off in this fit of rage during the assault. Confidential victim said Tyler has done this type of thing before, but never this bad. During my interview with her, confidential victim said she was not sure about Tyler's illegal drug use, but believed he used methamphetamines periodically. I asked confidential victim after the approximately 3-hour ordeal how it all ended. She stated towards the end of the night, around 11:30 or so, Tyler went into the kitchen area where he remained for several minutes. Believing this was the opportunity for her to escape, confidential victim grabbed her robe that contained her car keys, ran outside, and got into her vehicle. She said as she was leaving, Tyler came running out after her and jumped on the hood of her car, telling her to stop, which she ignored. I asked confidential victim if Tyler sexually assaulted her during the incident in any way. She said he did not. After leaving her residence, confidential victim went to her sister's house in Reading, where she has been staying ever since, and eventually made the report to law enforcement. I asked confidential victim to describe the punches Tyler hit her with. She said it was not really a fist, more of an open hand, and that he hit her 10 to 15 times in the facial area, including her eyes and forehead. Confidential could not see what he used to wrap around her neck, but believed he may have been trying to suffocate her. Confidential victim said she has not spoken to Tyler since, and he has not called her. No one else was at the residence when this incident occurred, and there was no witnesses to contact. Photos of the injuries to confidential victim, as well as a medical release form, were signed and will be added to this report. The photos will be booked into evidence after they are transferred to a CD-ROM. My recorded interview with confidential victim will also be converted to CD-ROM and later booked into evidence. I hope that we get to hear Nikki's voice speaking out against her abuser. When this trial happens, I hope we get to hear her voice. At this time, confidential victim will no longer be living at the Olinda Road address and will be staying for the foreseeable future with her sister in Reading. Confidential victim was advised to go to one safe place in Reading at her earliest convenience to get assistance in obtaining a restraining order against Tyler. She was also provided a Marcy's card, a victim of violent crimes pamphlet, a report number, and my contact information in case she had any questions or concerns. After speaking to confidential victim, myself and assisting deputies responded to blank Olinda Road to contact Tyler McCain. Upon responding to that location, Tyler subsequently came out of the residence and met us in the driveway. Tyler was taken into custody without incident, placed in handcuffs that were double locked and checked for proper fit. He was then placed in the back seat of a sheriff's office patrol vehicle and transported to jail without incident. Prior to being transported, I informed Tyler he was being placed under arrest for domestic violence as well as other charges for the injuries sustained by confidential victim during a domestic violence incident. At the jail, I read Tyler his Miranda rights from my card issued to me by the Shasta County District Attorney's Office. Tyler verbally stated to me he understood his rights and agreed to speak to me regarding this incident. I first confirmed confidential victim was in fact Tyler's wife, Nikki McCain. He stated that she was and that they had been together for 13 years now. I asked Tyler if he was aware of the injuries that his wife, confidential victim, had upon her face and body areas. Tyler said he is aware of them, but he did not actually see them. He said he last saw his wife on the 29th during the evening hours around 8 p.m. When I asked if there was any kind of disturbance between them, he said no, there was not. Tyler then told me he believed his wife had gotten into a fight with another female. That's how she received the injuries she currently had upon her body. I asked Tyler if he saw the fight take place. He said he did not. Tyler's statement sounded inconsistent, saying that he believed the confidential victim was having an affair with another female, but then went on to say that they had got along great and have been together as a happy couple, never having any type of physical altercations between them. When I asked Tyler if he saw the fight between confidential victim and this alleged female, or if he saw the injuries that she had upon her face, he said he did not. I informed Tyler his wife and confidential victim reported him as being the person who caused her numerous and visible injuries to her face during a violent encounter at their shared residence on Olinda Road on November 29th, 2023. And Tyler said that he did not strike confidential victim in any way and did not know how she received the injuries she was treated at the hospital for. Right, Tyler. Based on the totality of circumstances and based on the fact that the injuries upon confidential victim were consistent with that of a domestic violence incident, I informed Tyler that he was being charged with 273.5 PC, felony domestic violence, as well as false imprisonment, PC 236, a felony, and PC 422A, terrorist threats, also a felony. The domestic violence related charges stem from the fact that I observed physical injuries upon confidential victim she sustained at the hands of Tyler McCain, her husband. The false imprisonment is due to the fact that confidential victim stated Tyler bound both her hands and legs with tape, preventing her from leaving the house. The PC 422A, terrorist threats, for the fact Tyler threatened to kill confidential victim numerous times during the course of the incident and was in great fear for her own safety and well-being. This concluded my contact with Tyler, and he was booked on the listed charges. Prior to transporting Tyler to jail, I was given permission by both confidential victim earlier at the hospital and by suspect Tyler to enter the residence and retrieve confidential victim's cell phones. During a cursory safety search of the residence, 5 firearms were found inside the bedroom area in plain view where both Tyler and confidential victim reside. Tyler is not a convicted felon and is not prohibited from owning firearms, but a records check revealed that one of the firearms, an AK-47 style rifle, was reported to be stolen out of Oregon. That rifle, as well as the other ones, were taken for safekeeping and later entered into evidence as recovered stolen property for safekeeping. Sergeant Gusas collected the firearms along with ammunition and booked them into the Shasta County ID lab. Tyler McCain was later served with a receipt of the property at the jail that he signed in my presence that will be downloaded and added to this report. I also looked for the type white tape that confidential victim reported as being tied up by Tyler with laying on the floor in the bedroom area, but I did not observe any in plain view. This report will be forwarded to the district attorney's office with the listed charges that, based on the totality of the circumstances in this incident, show that Tyler McCain was the primary aggressor in this matter. I mean, hello. So this, in its totality, was the report that was taken and filed that led to the charges being filed against Tyler McCain for multiple felony charges related to the domestic violence and abuse of his wife, Nikki Cheng Saelee McCain. What followed was the disappearance of Nikki Cheng McCain, and that's where our whole deep dive took place, right? So charges were filed. She was set to testify against this man in a court of law, and weeks before she was set to do so, she went missing. I'll now read the press release in regards to the arrest the long-awaited, long overdue arrest of her husband, Tyler McCain. On May 22nd, and this is coming from the Facebook page of the Shasta County Sheriff's Office. Media release, arrest made in Nikki Cheng Saelee McCain homicide case. On May 22nd, 2024, Nikki Cheng Saelee McCain was reported missing by family members. Initially, the missing person report was made with the Reading Police Department. However, it was transferred to the Sheriff's Office 2 days later on May 24th, 2024, due to Nikki last being seen in the county, which is Sheriff's Office jurisdiction. Detectives immediately started working to locate Nikki and her Chevy Avalanche, which was also missing. Detectives determined Nikki was last seen at 17277 Olinda Road in Anderson on May 18th, 2024. Where she resided with her husband, Tyler Scott McCain. A day after taking over the missing persons case, detectives served a search warrant at Nikki and Tyler's residence. Various items of evidentiary value were seized as evidence. However, Nikki was not located. On May 25th, 2024, Nikki's vehicle, the previously mentioned Chevy Avalanche, was located by a citizen off Highway 36 near Bingham Gorge Bridge. This area is located near the Shasta and Tehama County border near Platina. Help. Detectives and crime scene investigators processed the vehicle and located physical evidence which supported foul play. The area where Nikki's vehicle was located was searched by Sheriff's Office staff, which included search and rescue teams. However, Nikki was not located. Since the start of this investigation, detectives have worked tirelessly to locate Nikki and determine the events leading to her disappearance. Detectives have served numerous search warrants, conducted numerous searches, interviewed family members, friends, and acquaintances of Nikki to no avail in locating her. Based on the evidence gathered, information learned from interviews, and the fact that none of Nikki's family members have heard from Nikki since her disappearance, detectives have determined she is a victim of homicide. Detectives concluded Nikki's husband, Tyler Scott McCain, is responsible for Nikki's death and disappearance. Detectives recently obtained an arrest warrant for 187A PC murder. On Wednesday, August 20th, 2025, Tyler McCain was located and arrested. He was ultimately booked into custody at the Shasta County Jail with no bail. The Shasta County Sheriff's Office would like to thank the Shasta County District Attorney's Office, the Reading Police Department, Homeland Security, Federal Bureau of Investigations, the California Highway Patrol Investigative Services Unit, and Multidisciplinary Accident Investigations Team, California Department of Justice, and CAL FIRE Law Enforcement for their assistance in this case. This was a huge collaboration between agencies, multi-departmental agencies. And it goes on. Guys, as it says in the last paragraph here, a combined reward of up to $30,000 still stands to this day for anyone who provides information that leads to Nikki's location. We still have not found Nikki. Bring her home. Anyone with information about this investigation is asked to contact the Major Crimes Unit by email at, and again, put it here, mcu@shastacounty.gov or phone number 530-245-6135. These are the documents. This is what I have. This is where we are. Bring Nikki home. And finally, for another, but never the last time. If you or someone that you know is experiencing domestic violence, please know that help is always available. You are not alone. For free and confidential support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or visit thehotline.org. And so, for this brilliant reading of documents by yours truly, Tiff Unraveled, um, thank you guys for being here and hanging out with me for a second time tonight. I hope that you have all had an incredible 3-day long weekend, like the ones that we live for those long weekends. But I hate to break it to you, tomorrow we go back to work. But it's fine because we have each other and we have this, and that makes everything worth it, doesn't it? And so, until I see you again this week, upcoming, please, again, stay safe, keep asking questions, and keep unraveling. Love you.